Really quick before the video starts, I forgot to mention, this might be interpreted as me trying to brag about what I have or how much, like, bragging about money or something. I forgot to mention it in my how much does my face cost video, and I think I don't want anyone to feel uncomfortable or feel like I'm trying to brag, because the point isn't, oh, look at me, I have all this stuff. It's, I have way too much, and I'm trying to recognize that in a way that's going to make an impression on me and my spending habits. So if this kind of video is not your thing, then I understand and you don't have to watch it. If you'd like to see a different kind of video, you can always leave me a comment and say, this kind of video wasn't for me. I would appreciate if you made videos like whatever. That would be helpful. Thank you. Hi, it's Amelia again. Today I wanted to film a really short video. Short for me, because normally my videos are 30 minutes long. I wanted to go through and figure out the price of my entire collection, how much it would cost to repurchase, which I talked about in my What Does My Face Cost Project Pan Edition video. I did it beforehand, I did the math correct this time, I'm hoping, so I don't have to do that like on camera or anything. I wanted to go through each category and say how much that category costs for the retail price, and then I wanted to maybe touch on some of the things that are more expensive and if I think they're worth it, and then I wanted to talk about the grand total. So the cheapest category, and by cheap I just mean the one that's not as extreme as the others, because it's definitely not cheap, would be eyes excluding eyeshadow. So if I were to include eyeshadow in just eyes as a whole category, it would be the most expensive because it already is. But for just things like mascara, liner, I include my brows as like an eye feature. I don't know. It's only $103.96. And I've noted that some stuff is cheaper at Target than at Ulta or Sephora. So like the Duo Lash Glue is $5.99 at Ulta, but it says it's $4.19 at Target. So the prices could vary, but I went with what I would most likely, the location I would most likely buy from. So I would most likely buy my lash glue and my lashes at Ulta while I'm there. So I went with the Ulta prices. For next would be lips, and that is $342.95, which I, to be honest, was not expecting at all, which is, I guess, my bad for not paying attention to how many high-end lipsticks I have, but like, the most expensive is the Bite Amuse Bouche lipsticks, because I have 4 of them, so that's $104 for all of them, if I did the math right. But just as a lipstick alone, the most expensive is the Charlotte Tilbury Kim KW, which is funny because that's one of my least favorites of formula, so I guess in that case the higher end price doesn't necessarily guarantee the better quality. I do think of all of my lipsticks, liquid, whatever, bullet form, the best I have is Bite Beauty, but I guess it's just personal opinion if you like that formula. Then there's face, which was actually kind of similar. If lips was $342.95, face is $356.94, so it's not that much more expensive. But it's still kind of crazy to me that my products for this is almost as expensive as products for all of this, like foundation and bronzer and whatever, because lips is just one category, it's just lipstick, aside from 2 lip balms and a lip pencil, but face is bronzer, blush, highlighter, whatever else. The most expensive thing on here is just my Hourglass powders. Like, I have 2 of my highlighter because my current Luminous light is running out, so that's $92. apparently the Butter Blush is cheaper at Target than at Ulta. I haven't gone to confirm that, but yeah. I do think that the Hourglass powders are worth the price. And to me, they are an investment, not only because they're better quality and they last a long time, but because I actually use them and I go through them. In Faith Bainey's All My Makeup is Going Bad video, she talked about, one of my favorite parts of that video is she has the Viseart palettes, and she's like, yeah, they're an investment and powders don't go bad as quickly, but like, look at these, do they look like I've gotten my money's worth? Do they look like an investment that like she's actually used? You know what I mean? For me, the Hourglass powders I do use up, and they are an investment that I get all my money's worth out of them, so it's worth the investment. It's not a sunk cost. Whereas if they were to go bad, then it would be a sunk cost, and that'd be really sad. Eyeshadow, I think this is similar to the eyes or lips category, whichever one I said, where I was sort of surprised at how expensive it was, but I don't think I should have been. And I think that this is a really good thing for me to do, because I'm actually now going to be actively thinking about just how expensive all of this is, because for eyeshadow, it's all of my eyeshadow together, if I were to repurchase it, would be retailed at $656. That's almost, I have almost, like, not almost 1,000, but like on the scale from 0 to 1,000, 656 is much closer to $1,000. And I know I've panned a lot of eyeshadow before, so to know that I probably have had, over the entire time I've done my makeup, over $1,000 worth of just eyeshadow, just something for this little part of my face, like, and I do like to sort of defend myself and say that eyeshadow is the reason I love makeup. I would not be into makeup if eyeshadow didn't exist. If I could do everything else with my face except eyeshadow, I would not do makeup, because eyeshadow is what makes it fun for me. Everything else sort of just complements the look. So I sort of defend my spending and my hoarding of eyeshadow by saying this is, like, eyeshadow is the hobby for me. Like I say, makeup's my hobby, eyeshadow is my hobby. But I also, now I'm starting to think, like, is that truth, and is that a good reason, or is that an excuse for why I'm spending so much money on little squares of powder that go on my eye? Like, I don't know. I wanted to point out that, and I know this, when you look at the price of singles, you can tell which ones are more expensive based on, like, per ounce or per gram, but I have 17 Anastasia singles, and that's worth $172. I have 6 Urban Decay singles, and that's $114. So Urban Decay singles are really expensive in comparison, and I know that. Like, I know the Urban Decay ones are $19 and Anastasia is $12, but you can get the 4 for $40 bundle. But, like, I don't know, just writing it out really hit it home for me that, like, Urban Decay is so expensive, and I don't know, I just feel like the singles might not be worth it for me anymore from them, because Anastasia, for me, are the best eyeshadows I've ever tried. So, and they're not the most expensive. So it's kind of like the Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks, where they're not as good as Bite Beauty. Bite Beauty is less expensive, but they're the best to me. I feel like Anastasia is the eyeshadow equivalent of that, where they're not as expensive as others, but they are the best. And they are still expensive. I think that was it for that. So my entire collection's worth. This is not what I spent. This is not, like, this is how much money I've spent on all of these products. This is if all of this stuff disappeared and I had to repurchase it, how much money would I have to spend? So I'm going to give the retail price and what it would be for me for tax, because taxes are different everywhere. I believe some places you don't have to pay tax on makeup. Also, I think the tax actually varies based on stuff. So I just went with the 8% tax that's like standard where I'm from. But I'm going to give the retail because the retail is going to be the same for everyone unless you use discounts and whatever. So the retail value for my entire collection is $1,459.85. That's, if we're rounding, $1,500-ish. That's a lot. I am, like, surprised that it didn't go over 2,000 though. I don't know if it's a bad thing that I assumed that my entire collection's worth would be, like, $2,000. That being said, when I pack all my makeup in my makeup bag for travel, because I just bring all my stuff with me, to think that the bag I'm carrying around, I spent, like, maybe $10 on, but the stuff inside is worth almost $1,500. Like, that's so expensive. I don't know. It's just crazy to me to think that, like, when I'm carrying around my makeup bag, I'm carrying something that expensive with me, because, like, I don't have expensive stuff. I mean, obviously I do when you look at my collection, but, like, I'm not, like, wearing diamond earrings and, like, it's not something I'm used to where I'm just, like, I don't have designer handbags that are thousands of dollars, so the thought that I could be carrying around something with so much worth, like, look at my earrings. These are plastic. They're pretty, but, like, it's so weird to me. I mean, I guess it's kind of like cell phones, where cell phones are really expensive, but you don't necessarily think about it in terms of value when you're holding it and carrying it around. So it would be nice if I could spend $1,459.85 to get all this stuff again. But actually, if I were to pay tax in my area to repurchase all of this, I would have to spend $1,576.64. That's like, again, basically $1,500. I don't know. I'm kind of glad that it's less, because I was thinking about it, like, if I were to hit VIB Rouge every single year, which I don't for Sephora, that would mean that every year I would be taking in $1,000 worth of stuff. So the fact that my entire collection would only get me 1 year of VIB Rouge, I guess that makes me happy, but also for my goal, I would like my collection to be manageable for me, something I can use the products up. What am I trying to say? Something where I can go through the products without worrying about anything going bad because it's small enough. But also something where if something bad happens, I can financially handle getting it back. And I don't think that this is something that I could financially handle getting back. Like, I couldn't even buy my cheapest category of eyes without eyeshadow. I couldn't even, I mean, I'm sure I could save up for $103.96 and, like, use that. Just, like, I don't know. I don't think I would be able to repurchase my eyeshadow section category for the $656 until I get a really good job. Like, that's so much. I feel really weird. I don't feel weird about sharing this, but I think I'm going to make people feel uncomfortable for sharing this. But I did want to add that I get a lot of makeup gifts. I use the 20% off sales for whenever. I don't do a lot of makeup shopping for myself, but when I do, there's always a discount. So I feel like I'm very, like, it's not like I could be on the couponing show where there's, like, I don't know what it's called. There's, like, crazy couponers, and they go and buy, like, $1,000 worth of groceries, but they only spend, like, 5 cents, you know what I mean? But I feel like in terms of having an expensive hobby and doing it in a way that doesn't, like, having an expensive hobby without breaking the bank, I feel like does take some forethought. I wish that I thought about this stuff before I go shopping or before I ask for gifts, because I think it's important to remember exactly like how much you're spending, especially when it comes to buying more than you can use up in the given amount of time you have. Like, everything's gonna expire. Can I use $1,500 worth of makeup before it all goes bad? I don't know. Probably not for eyeshadow. I'm playing Beat the Clock right now with my Urban Decay palettes because I got them 4 years ago, and like, they don't necessarily expire at 5 years, but I agree with Faith that like once it hits 5 years, you will start to notice changes, and I don't want to notice those changes. I want to finish my makeup before they even have a chance to expire. So the fact that so much money is going into this, it's like I have $1,500 at stake here that I feel like project painting helps a lot, but I don't know if it's the solution to this. I think that smart thinking and smart shopping going forward is what's going to help me, because this number does make me a little uncomfortable to have, as, I don't know. It's kind of like if you went shopping for food and you spent $1,500 and then you just let it sit in your fridge until it went bad. Like, that's not a good feeling. And I feel like that's what I'm doing with my makeup. I will keep my makeup until it does go bad, so it's not like I'm just gonna hit a certain time period or whatever, and then I'm just being like, oh, I have to chuck it. Unless it's a product that has a date on it, like it says January, whatever, of this year. Unless it has a specific date, I'm not going to throw it out, because I feel the expirations are suggestions. So, yeah, this was my, how much is my collection worth video. I have no idea if anybody else would want to post something like this. I feel like it's not that invasive of my personal life, because I'm not telling you how much I spent. I'm telling you how much what I have is worth. And it's sort of mind-blowing to me, but I don't know if it's fully hit me yet. Like, the numbers. Like, when I was doing my face, how much is my face worth video, it didn't really hit me until afterwards that, like, it cost me $400 to do my makeup. Like, to do my makeup on a daily basis, I have to have hundreds of dollars of stuff. Like, I don't have to, but that's what I do. And that's sort of the makeup lifestyle I choose to maintain. So it's not like I'm going to stop using high-end products all of a sudden and I'm going to switch to a drugstore and then it'll be cheaper. Like, that's not going to happen. I know I'm going to continue to buy high-end eyeshadows and high-end face stuff. So, I don't know. I think after I make this video and I sit with the numbers for a while, I might have more commentary to give, and then I'll film something else talking about it. Maybe add this to the end of, maybe add it to the end of this video. I wanted to film a shorter video, but I've been filming for 20 minutes because I'm rambling a lot and I'm not sure what to say. So I'm going to end it here. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoy it. If not, I would like a comment telling me what you'd like me to do differently. That would help, especially if it is in terms of technology, because he scares me every time he does that. My goldfish, not a person. Let me know what I can improve on, or what video ideas you would prefer seeing. If you didn't like this one, if you do like this one, let me know. I'll see you in my next video.